Hey friends, it's Val, and I'm just felt called to talk about something that's been on my mind lately, and I've talked with friends, and it's on many people's minds these days, um, and it's about kind of managing anxiety in the times of COVID. And I am not an expert. I'm not a mental health person. I'm just a patient, a mental health patient, and who's someone that's been humbly walking with anxiety for 5 to 7 years. So I have a little bit more time to work on the practice of managing and treating anxiety for myself. And I just want to share my story in case it kind of helps others get in touch with theirs. So I'm going to start and kind of compare anxiety to a pillow. And the way that I think about it is like, there's been a number of times when anxiety has like been present in my life, but I didn't really figure it out until it started like really suffocating me and taking me down. I I'll just share like a couple of stories very quickly. Like, I grew up in a pretty stressful home environment, a lot of financial hardship. My parents divorced. There was always arguments, and it was a very fight or flight kind of environment. And I am an emotionally sensitive person, and I absorbed a lot of that. And I didn't really quite realize that until I was in my mid to late 20s and sought really high paying jobs in order to find financial security. But I didn't understand that I was really like absorbing and suppressing a lot of environmental stress, and that manifested in anxiety until one time I was at my workplace and I was literally taken out in a stretcher because I had a panic attack and I didn't even know it. I couldn't control it. And the way that it showed up was that I couldn't breathe. The anxiety showed up as a pillow, and it kind of took over. And I when I lost my mom, when she passed away, I learned about grief, and grief felt a little bit similar to anxiety in that they describe grief as a blanket that just kind of covers you and like is just like suffocating or it just takes you out. And I feel like anxiety, I kind of call it a pillow because maybe you don't really know it may be there, but then once it covers you, it just can prevent you from breathing, and breathing is of course our life force. So one way that I've been managing my relationship with anxiety, especially in the times of COVID, which I think for all of us have come in waves, and maybe sometimes when we watch the news or and something where it's like latent, like delayed onset, kind of just out of nowhere. For me, it was like on Easter Sunday when I couldn't go to church, which I didn't think I was that attached to. I felt a lot of anxiety or panic, like life is not normal. And so one way that I just kind of try to manage or have a relationship with anxiety is treating it like a pillow and almost being like, look, you're here, anxiety, I see you. But instead of like gripping onto it or letting it prevent me from breathing, I just try to like put it like on the side slightly next to me, like if I'm on the sofa or whatever, and I'm just like, hey, anxiety, you're next to me but you're not with me. It's like a little bit, I'm the driver, you're the passenger, not the other way around. And it's okay, like we all have anxiety these days. So I just felt like, as a sensitive person who's had a lot of emotions, not trying to control the emotions, but just trying to create a little bit of distance, putting it, like making it an object. I used to joke that, like with my husband, when I was starting to feel really anxious, I would call the anxiety a black wolf. And if I was not in a good mood and he'd ask what's up, I'd be like, oh, the black wolf is here. And then we'd like make fun of it, we'd be like, oh, that fucking black wolf, like, that stupid black wolf. So just trying to share that for me when I'm really feeling big feelings, as they say with kids, naming them is very big. I think it does something with the prefrontal cortex where it kind of like frees your mind from like that fight or flight response. So naming it, if it is anxiety or sadness or fear or depression or anger or whatever it is, and then like giving it a little bit of space, calling it an object, and then knowing that it will pass. And it may come back, but it will pass. So hoping you all find some space, some lightness, and some relief from everything that we're dealing with now.